We've worked extensively with 11 young people with severe or profound and multiple learning disabilities, as well as their families and support circles, to gather an understanding of what's important to and for them. Steps are often not taken to engage with this group in things such as decision making and consultations.
The Fentons of this world are still missed out in society. I feel that people think it's too difficult, they don't know how to approach it, or even ask. If they ask, we can give them the information they need to make things accessible for our young people. But at the moment, unfortunately, they are still missed out a lot in society and can't access things that they need to and want to and should be able to.
And we've had social care packages in the past that haven't reflected Amy's needs at all. We've had social workers that haven't come to meet her, have just talked to me, and that just seems wrong, because she should be able to express her views about what she does in her social time and who she spends that time with.
Through this project, we have identified 6 key principles to be followed when engaging with individuals with severe or profound and multiple learning disabilities. By applying these principles, there will be increased opportunities for this group to influence and be included in decisions regarding the support and services that they receive. Such engagement is a fundamental right for all young people, but regrettably, this level of engagement is just not frequently extended to those with severe or profound and multiple learning disabilities.
This kind of direct engagement with our young people is important because it impacts on their lives. This project has enabled us to share with policymakers at local and national level exactly what our young people need, because it's about their future and they're entitled to this. And unless you get to know these young people, you're making decisions based on no evidence. You need to ask them what they need, and this project is the way to do that.
I think good engagement, just thinking about how it would look, would involve Amy right at the very centre, but also involve her close family. So we know what she likes, what she doesn't like. It takes long for her to process actions, because whoever's engaging with her needs to allow themselves time to get to know her, for her to get to know them and become to trust them and like them and want to work with them. But for them to take the time out to use the resources that she needs, whether that's a Now or Next board or symbols, but just to learn from us and to learn from her and to spend that time with her.
In order to engage better with our young people, we take into account the environment that they're in at the time when we're trying to engage with them. I've been in situations where we've had hospital appointments where we've had to wait in really busy, loud waiting rooms before the appointment, which has really wound my daughter up before, got her very anxious. We've walked into a room where there's been board markers and pens left around, which my daughter, for her sensory needs, has just grabbed hold of the pen and chewed it dry. And things like that can be really, really difficult.
It's really important to be flexible in your approach when working with people with severe or profound and multiple learning disabilities. We must be flexible not only with things such as timings and the environment, but also in the methods that we use. We must be responsive in real time to changing things up to best suit the people that we're working with, even if that doesn't quite fit your original plans. To get a real insight from the person that we're engaging with, we need to have an understanding of their likes and their dislikes and incorporate this into the engagement. So through this project, we found that we've got so much more interaction with the young people when we found creative ways to use the things that we know they like during the sessions.
Christopher generally does mark making, so single lines, but what he did in the project was he was creating figures. There were characters and he named the characters. One of them was Christopher, and he was able to express himself through the art to share, the things he enjoyed, and then he was so proud of the work he produced.
To understand an individual's experiences, preferences and views, building relationships can make a huge difference. In one of our sessions, thanks to Pete's effort to build that relationship, we saw Fenton share his joy for music.
Jazzy. Hello.
to drums and loud stuff and cymbals and all of that, Pete found that if he used the iPad and put the instruments into the iPad to make the sounds, Fenton was actually starting to move his hand to strum the instrument on the iPad, and that was just literally by Pete sitting back, watching how Fenton reacted to the sounds and the noises, what worked, what didn't work, and opening up a huge window for Fenton. Pete quite quickly found out that actually Fenton likes the string instruments, and he seemed to love the harp and the harpsichord, and they were what really activated Fenton's brain, got him looking at Pete, moving his hand, and he really interacted with that.
If we follow the principles of engagement, such as being flexible, investing time to spend with the young person in a familiar environment, then we can engage with them to gather their experiences, preferences and views. We can then use these to understand what might be important to someone, to try new activities, to observe responses, and what we learn from the person and those who know them well can be used to influence policy and decisions which affect their lives. This can significantly improve the support provided to the young people and ensure that their voices are heard.